welcome to Hearthside Creations. I'm Corinne, a writer, knitter, and creative guide living in the woods of central Maine, and this is my channel. Every video we start off with some tea. So this week I'm going to have this cinnamon spice, mix it with some Rooibos Looseleaf. So while I make it, I wanted to share what this video is going to be because it's a little bit different from some of the other things that I've tried. So last week I finished up the Orna Sweater, which I've been working on all month of January, and I blocked it, and I really wanted to show you the difference that blocking makes in knit products, so especially cables. So I've got some footage on how I block my hand knits, and then also over the weekend I took a snowshoe walk with my oldest who didn't really want to be on camera, so he's not really in it, but he helped to take some footage of me and the finished Orna Sweater out at our cabin. We have a little unheated cabin on our property, so we went out there and it was sunny and warm-ish. So yeah, so I'm gonna share the videos, kind of intersperse them between each other, and probably talk a little bit about how winter can actually be a pretty generative time creatively. So yeah, I've got my tea now, so we might as well get started. So enjoy. This is it, my finished Orna Sweater by Brienne Moody. All the details will be listed in the description below. Here it is, straight off the needles, unblocked. I knit a size 2 for my 37-inch bust, which should give me at least 6 inches of ease. I used 7 skeins of Juniper Moon Farm Santa Cruz Organic Merino in Cerulean. It's a heavier worsted weight than the pattern calls for, so after blocking it should end up being super cozy and roomy. Pre-blocking, the sweater looks kind of lumpy. The cables aren't super well defined and the fit just doesn't feel comfortable. You can see on the ribbing especially that it won't lay flat at all. That's why we block our finished garments. To do so, I fill up a sink full of warm water and wool wash. Then I plunge the sweater in and let it sit until the water is completely cool. I don't agitate the sweater, so I've never had an issue with fibers felting. This process allows for the yarn to bloom, stitches to move around and find a resting place, and all the bits to ease into itself. After soaking, I'll squeeze the water out and lay the sweater on a towel and roll it up, and then squish the water out by walking over it. It sounds silly, but it does the job. Next, I'll lay it flat on some foam mats and push and pull the sweater into the form I want it to take after it's all dried. Already, you can see the changes. I'll show you the blocked and dried sweater at the end of the video. Over the weekend, we got enough snow to warrant snowshoes on our walk. My son and I headed out with Darcy on Saturday to enjoy the beauty of fresh fallen snow and the sunshine. I brought the camera along and we'll show you what our backyard looks like. We'll walk along some wooded paths, show you our snow-covered hayfields, and then take a look at the ice. also snow-covered on the river. Walking through snow with snowshoes feels a bit like walking barefoot through sand. It takes a lot of energy, but it's always worth it. I tend to pause, slow down, and really take in my surroundings, all as an excuse to catch my breath, of course. I'm generally a homebody, but winter allows me to take those tendencies to the next level, especially this winter, as we've had dangerously low temperatures, high winds. There's ample reason to stay indoors. Because of this, I find winter to be a generative season creatively. Spring, summer, and autumn have their own energy, so often associated with doing and going and achieving. Winter's sparseness gives room for us to get quiet and be with our thoughts. Stillness doesn't mean straight out dormancy. It's kind of like what happens when we block a sweater. While the sweater soaks in the water, there's loads happening beneath the surface. The cables have room to define themselves, and the wool blooms. The time I spend at home wintering fuels my creativity and allows for thoughts to blossom and gives them the space they need to form stories. Characters come to life in the slow moments. Sentences morph into chapters as I have a little bit of extra time to sit and dwell by the fire, or even between steps on slow snowshoe adventures. Even though we're bundled up, there's a simplicity to being outdoors in the winter. There are no gardens to tend to, no weeds to pull. The work of the other seasons is on hold, and the time for hibernation, whatever that means to you, is here for the long haul. The generative nature of winter is more noticing, less pushing. It's more thoughtful, less rushed. It's more about conserving energy for the things that truly matter in these moments than trying to do everything and be everywhere at once. It's about amassing thoughts and ideas, tending to them like we tend to the fire, with consistency and care. This generates the seeds for the rest of the year. More than any other season, there is no hurrying winter along. Instead of finding this to be a weight on the soul, embracing the season's rhythms and splendors can make all the difference. Maybe, just maybe, this season can allow for the depth and space our stories and projects benefit from. And then think about all of the material, all of the changes deep within we'll take with us into the days of spring to come. This is it, the finished product, post-blocking. It's like an entirely different sweater, right? The cables are well defined, the drape is lovely, and there's ease in not only the sweater, but in the wearing of it. It's comfortable, cozy, and even the ribbing lays flat. This might be my favorite hand-knit sweater to date. I just love the all-over cables and how squishy yet gorgeous the cable and lace design ended up. I hope you enjoyed seeing the process of knitting the sweater over the course of a few videos. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe, like, and and leave me a comment. It all helps the channel grow. Thanks for being here. Until next time, be well.